All right, today we're looking at frequency distributions and relative frequencies. All right, what I recommend doing is put your problem over here on the left and then put your spreadsheet over here on the right. And just do a split screen like this. And then you can answer the questions and use the spreadsheet at the same time. Right here we have this first question, just basic terminology. A frequency distribution lists the number, I think this is just number of occurrences. Yeah. The number of occurrences of each category of data. So like suppose you have songs on your phone. And suppose you have 30 country songs. That's the frequency of how many of those you have. It's the frequency, the number. Suppose you have 19 rap songs. That's your frequency. Okay, that's the number of occurrences you have. A relative frequency, that's the proportion. So I think we got proportion right here of occurrences. So like if you have 30 country songs and you've got altogether 200 songs, well 30 out of 200, that's your relative frequency for that class or that category. Okay, and we'll do some more like that in a minute here that further explain it. Relative frequency distribution, what should the relative frequencies add up to? Your relative frequencies should always add up to 1 every time, no matter what. And we'll look at some of those in a minute, and I'll show you how it works out. Here we're talking about a bar graph and a Pareto chart. First, a bar graph, and let's see here. It looks like it might be this one. A bar graph is a horizontal or vertical representation of the frequency or relative frequency of the categories. The height of each rectangle represents the category's frequency or relative frequency. So that looks like that'd be B. All right, fantastic. Now, Pareto chart basically is a bar graph where the bars go in descending order. So let's see here. Right here. A bar graph whose bars are drawn in decreasing order. So that'd be C. All right, there we go. All right, now here's a circle graph or a pie chart, they call them. And basically you got 4 different pieces to this pie, and which means you have 4 categories. And the bigger the piece, the bigger that category is. So like here you can see the red is the biggest. That's Ben. He had 32%. And that's what this is asking, who received the most votes. And it looks like Ben did. And so that's pretty easy to answer. And there's a couple of those. There's another one. All right, now right here. A 2-pound bag of assorted candies contains 100 caramels, 83 mint patties, 93 chocolate squares, 80 nut clusters, and 79 peanut butter taffy pieces. To create a pie chart, so you're going to draw a circle graph or a pie chart, the angle for the slice representing each candy type must be computed. Calculate the degree measure of the slice representing the mint patties. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is this. We first need to sum up all the categories here. We got 183, and I'm just using my calculator here. And then we got 93, and then we got 80 nut clusters, and we got 79 peanut butter taffy pieces, which is 435 pieces. Okay, this is saying calculate the degree of the angle representing mint patties. All right, mint patties, there's 83 mint patties. So that's 435. So to do 83 divided by 435, that gets this relative frequency, which is 0.19. Okay, now you see 0.19 right there, but that's not your answer because this is in degrees. See, a circle has 360 degrees. So if I take this right here and I times it by 360, that tells me that 68.6 or 69 degrees is what my angle should be for that piece of the pie. All right, so again, you add them all up and then take your mint patty number and divide by the total, and that gives you your relative frequency. But you got to multiply that by 360 to get it in degrees. I hope that makes sense. Here's another question based on the pie chart. We'll skip that one. All right, now here's a Pareto graph, and looks like it's, yeah, you can see a little better there. This Pareto chart shows the position played by the most valuable player in a certain baseball league for the last 105 years. All right, so part A says, which position had the most MVPs? So clearly this first one right here, that's outfielders. So this should be outfield. All right, outfield. Okay. Well, it's not taking my answer. Well, we may just need to go to the next one. There's another one. We'll just skip it. All right. All right, here's where our Excel is going to come in. A national survey asked people, how often do you eat out for dinner instead of at home? So here's the frequencies. Never. The frequency is 191. 191 people say they never eat out. 457 say they rarely eat out. Down here, always 61 people eat out always. So that's the frequencies of each category. All right, we want to construct a relative frequency distribution of this data. So what we're going to do is right here is this little icon right there. See where I'm at right here? I'm going to click on that and I want to copy that to the clipboard. Okay, now I'm going to do Control C to copy it. I'm going to come over here to my spreadsheet and I'm going to paste it in there. And there you go. Okay, now you can make these a little bigger if you want to, whatever. But anyway, so what I need to do is I need to add these up. So I'm going to come down here at the bottom and I'm going to add them up. And so I'm going to hit, there's a sum button that you can hit. I'm just going to hit equals. I'm going to type in sum. And yes, this is what I want right here. And I want to add these up right there. And there you go, 2,182. Okay, now, what I do next is I come over here and I want to take each one of these values and I want to divide it by this value. So what I'll do is right here, I'll start with this one, equals. And I'm going to click this value right here. I'm going to divide by this one down here. And I'm just going to type that one in because I don't want to fill it down to the blank spot below it. And there you go. There's my relative frequency for never. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that one right there. Okay. And I'm going to grab this corner dot and pull it down, and it's going to fill down for all of them. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to fill this over, and which will add that column up. Since that was added up here, when I fill that over, it's going to add that column. And you can see it adds up to 1 like it should. Your relative frequencies should add up to 1. Now, all I got to do is transfer those decimals over here. Now, it says round to 3 places. Okay, so right here I'm going to put 0.088. So 0.088. And then right here on rarely, that's 0.209. 0.209. And then the next one, 0.448. 0.448. Using the Excel spreadsheet just makes this so much easier. Most of the time, it's down here, 0.227 if I round it. And then this bottom one always is 0.028. 0.028. And then that should be right here. Let's see. It's not checking it for some reason. I don't know why. All right, well, we'll go to the next one. All right. I wonder if maybe I'm timed out on this. Let me go back in here and do it again. Okay. Now on this one, it's the same thing. We're just going to hit this little icon right here to copy this to the clipboard. And then we want to put it on our spreadsheet over here on the side. And I'm not going to do this one, but once you do, you see you'll just fill your percents in, and it's got bar graphs to look at. Now, I don't know if I can make this a little bit bigger. It's condensed on me. All right, so here's my bar graphs. All right, now this, we've got two different ones. We got the number of texts for these are adults and these are teens. Okay, now what I suggest doing is for relative frequency, look for the biggest one. So on the adults, right here, 1 to 10 is 0.50. So that's like 50% for adults, 1 to 10. All right, so if I go down to my bar graph and I notice adults is in blue. So 1 to 10, the blue should be 50. Well, this was wrong. This one here looks like that's right. Of course, that's the right answer. You see the star on it. And this one also looks like it's right. This one's wrong. So we got these two out. We've got B or C that it could be. Okay. Then you pick, maybe for the teens, pick the biggest one of it. And it looks like 28 down here, 100 plus is 28%. So if you look at the 100 plus, the red one should be like 28. Here's 30, so it looks like about right. What about this one? Here, yeah, you see this is not right. So that tells you that's the right one. And so that's how you go about on the graphs. Just make sure a couple of the bar graphs match up correctly. Okay. All right, now here's one I want to do with you guys. We click on this, and then here's our data. And here's a little icon to copy to the clipboard. All right, so I'm going to do Control-C to copy it. Now, I probably should get rid of this. All right, and let's see if we can paste it on here. And there you go. So there's all our days of the week. And so we need to make a frequency distribution of this. So let's come over here and get this off. So we want, we want a frequency distribution. So it says Sunday is 4 and Monday is 2. And so we can just count those up. Well, here's an easy way to do this. Just click your A column right here. And you want to sort those. And so I might need to expand this to get to my sort right here. And I'll just go from A to Z. And there you go, man. They're all in order here. Let's go back to the... See how that put them all in order? So that makes them much easier to count. Much easier. And so if I just scroll down through here on Sunday, right here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you have several of them, what you can do is take the last one, which is 29, and subtract the one before the first one, 25. So do 29 minus 25, which is 4. There's 4 of those. Monday. Okay, let's take this up a little bit. So you can see there's 2 Mondays. And then Tuesday, there's 5 of those, it says. And here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can do 35 minus the one before that one, 30. 35 minus 30 is 5. Okay, now it looks like Friday on here has quite a bit. And of course, yeah, there's 15. It starts at 1, goes to 15. 15 minus 0 is 15. And so that's how you'll get your frequency. Okay, now we probably need to put these numbers over here. So let's do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, and so Sunday has 4. This is 2, 5, 5. Let's scroll this up a little bit. Thursday is 1, Friday is 15, and this is 8. So there's my frequencies. Well, we want to add those up. So equals the sum. When you type in sum, this little menu comes on there. We want the sum, so I double click it, and I went from here to here, all those. And there you go. There's 40 of them. And so I'll come over here. I'm going to hit equals. I'm going to click this one right here. Divide by 40. I'm going to type in the number 40. We don't want to click it. There you go. Now highlight it and just fill it down, and then there you go. There's all my relative frequencies. And so when I look over here, I can just transfer those over here. And you can see I got 0.1, 0.05, 0.125. Yeah, everything looks fine. The Friday is 0.375. That's what all looks good. And then as you go down, there's questions concerning them. The best day to purchase advertising would be Friday because that has the highest relative frequency. And the worst day would be Thursday because it has the lowest relative frequency, and so forth. And then here's bar graphs. You want to pick up which one's the right bar graph for now this is just the frequencies. And of course we know Friday's the biggest day, so we can rule this one out because this looks like Thursday's the biggest, and there's Wednesday's the biggest. And on this one, it shows Monday's the biggest, and here clearly is the answer. And then you got to do a bar graph for the relative frequencies. Okay, and then you got to do a pie chart and see which one's the correct pie chart. So that's what all was going on there. I'm just about done. There was this one here I wanted to do. This is a problem dealing with blood types. And we've got 4 different blood types. We've got A, B, AB, and O. All right, here's 50 patients they have. And we want to construct a frequency table. So let me come over here first and delete all this off. All right, and just leave that on there. And we'll come over here, click the icon, and we want to copy this to the clipboard. And I'm going to do Control-C to copy it. All right, now right here, I'm going to paste it. And there you go. And so just like I did a while ago, I want to put these in order. So let me make this big so I get to the button here. I want to sort these from A to Z. And there you go, man. They're in order, so it make it easy for us to count them. So I'm gonna go A here. Then we'll do AB. Then we'll do B. And then we'll do O. So here's my 4 kinds. So A clearly is a bunch of A's, man. It goes from 1 all the way to 18 right here. So there's 18 A's. So right here, I'm going to put 18. All right, then AB. Let's go down so you can count the ABs. And you can see there's just 3 of them. But if it's a whole bunch, take this bottom one here, 21, and subtract the one before the first one, 18. 21 minus 18 is 3. Now, you can just count the ABs there because it's 3, but if there's a bunch of them, I would subtract them. The B's, all right, the B's, yeah, there's a bunch of those. So we're at 28 at the bottom, subtract 21, the one before the first one, that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so that's how you count them, 7. And then what about the O's? All right, O. Oh, there's a bunch of those. So we're going all the way to 50. And here's one where you don't want to count them. And the first one is 29, so we're going to subtract 28. 50 subtract 28 would be 22. So O's are 22. All right, and there's my frequency. So I just come and transfer those numbers over here. 18, 3, 7, 22. All right, then the next thing I want to do is I want to make the relative frequency. So first I'm going to have to sum them up. So sum, now hold on. I can just do my little icon right here, my little sigma. That's going to sum them up. So when I do that, I just type that button. It automatically does it for me. You just got to make sure whatever's highlighted is the correct thing. So there's 50 of them, and we knew that. There's 50. It said it in the problem. Now I'm going to come over here and calculate my relative frequency. So this equals, and I'm going to click this icon here, click the 18, divide by 50. And there's my relative frequency for A. Now I want to fill that down. So I'm just going to highlight it, grab the middle thing on the corner, and come on down. I'm going to go all the way down to here. And there you go. And now let's make this small again on the right. And now I can just transfer those over here. And here they are, right there. Okay, so that's how you fill them in. Now, according to the data, what blood type is most common? According to this, man, 44. A is the next. And so it's got a couple questions that it's asking you about the data. This says right here, use the results of the sample to conjecture the percentage of population that has type O blood. Is this an example of descriptive or inferential statistics? Well, this is inferential because we're inferring this from the data we've got. And it's 44%. If you go, well, here's your relative frequency there, 44%. If you change it to a percent, it's. Now, this question right here says, contact a local hospital and ask them the percentage of population that is blood type O. Why might the results be different? If we call Greenville Hospital, are they going to have this exact same percentage? No, it might be a little bit off. But the results might differ because there's always a variability because of individuals in a survey. They may not exactly reflect the makeup of the population. Now, again, we got to draw a frequency bar graph. So look at the biggest one. See, O is the biggest. And here's O, and it should be like 44. And this looks like it's only like 20. So I don't think that's right there. Oh, I'm sorry, this frequency. So I need to look at the frequency. I thought it said relative frequencies. So that should be 18. So see, that's above 20, so that's wrong. All right, now if you look at this next one here. Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I messed up. This is A, 18 over here. And both of these look right. The difference here, and that's what you can do is find a difference. And it looks like B right here is different from these two. So if you look at B, that should be 7. So here, this is 10. That looks like that might be 7. This looks like it's only 5, so that one's wrong. And this would be the correct one. And that's how you find the correct answer on those. That's number 13. There's 17 problems in this. Here's the easy one here. Can we make a pie chart with this? Well, these percents don't add up to 100. And the reason why is because we got 4 different questions here. So that's why they don't add up to 100%. And here's another one. And it's just the same thing again. We're calculating our relative frequencies and putting them in the table. And then here's 16. And then 17, similar type thing. So that's what's going on in this assignment. I think you guys will have a pretty easy time with this. Not very complicated, but you work on it. And if you need any help, let me know. That's frequency distribution and relative frequency. And oh man, it's blurry. Oh goodness. But anyway, have a good rest of the day.